Welcome, family. 2016, this is Sister Modupe. Sister Modupe, so glad to be here with you. Happy beginnings. Happy New Year 2016. This is the first show of the year for me, and I am so glad that you've joined me. Now, I have to let you know right away that Dr. Rab was to be my guest today, but he was feeling a little under the weather, and so we will reschedule him. But don't miss that show. It's going to be fantastic. So, all day today, you've got me, and I have a bunch of great things to talk with you about, okay? So today, we're going to talk about food and nutrition, okay? All right, so you might say, okay, everybody kind of knows about food. We always all have to eat, right? Well, something's going on, right? Because if food by itself could keep people healthy, vibrant, living a long, long time, people in America should be the healthiest people on the planet. I know you'll agree with me because Americans eat more food than anybody on the planet. We've got access to food that people, when they come here from some countries and they see the grocery stores, they like Costco or something like that, they're just flabbergasted. There's so much food available to us. But we have a lot of people in the hospital. We have a lot of diseases and a lot of ailments. People are aging much quicker than they'd like to. So let's investigate a little bit of why that's going on when we've got food, right? Food, nutrition, right? So let's talk a little bit about why we eat, okay? So there's a number of reasons why we eat. We eat for energy. We eat for growth, especially if you're a child or if you're an athlete, you're developing muscle, correct? We eat for maintenance. You got to keep those bones strong. You use them every day. You got to keep those muscles strong. And we eat for repair. You know, if you're injured, if you get a bug or something like that, you've got to eat for those reasons too. Now, that's my phone going off, so pardon me. My big thing is for us to realize that we eat for those reasons, so it can't just be about taste, right? It's got to also be, we got to put some thought into what we eat and why we eat. So I want to talk about why we choose what we eat. Sometimes it's culture. I grew up eating this way. This is how my parents always ate. This is how my grandparents ate, things like that. Taste is another reason people eat things. Appearance, that looks good. And also advertising. Now that's a big one. If you see something on the TV today and they make it look gorgeous and it tastes so good and it's going to smells so wonderful, a lot of people will go out and want to eat it without even knowing what it is or what all is entailed in making that item. So we have to be smart because that's going to affect our body, it's going to affect our energy level, probably going to affect how well we will rest or won't rest, all those types of things. So we should not take lightly what we eat, okay? So now let's talk a little bit about how to choose what we eat, okay? You hear a lot in the news about GMOs. You hear a lot in the news about organic or not organic foods, etc., etc. First thing to say is that organic food is always going to have more value than conventionally grown food. In other words, food with lots of pesticides and inorganic fertilizers, things like that. You know, now when you may have been at home in the South before and somebody had a garden or a farm or something, you saw them use a lot of things like maybe manure and leaves and things, something they composted. Well, the chemicals that they make in the factories to put on the plants are not as nourishing to our body. Matter of fact, they cause a lot of problems in our body because they clog. So you want to eat things that help you flow and not things that clog you or that your body doesn't recognize, okay? So when we choose foods, we want to choose foods, first of all, anything grown wild. That seed has chosen where it's going to grow, and that's the ultimate place for it to be. That means it found a lot of nourishment there, and we couldn't do that better. We can't decide better where a seed might want to grow than it choosing it itself. You know, we see in the summertime, like, for example, dandelions, when all those little white floating, flying seeds take off, well, they're going to land and start growing where they feel it's optimal, right? So we also have to think about the fact that our bodies are designed a certain way to consume things. Now, you may have been to the circus and saw somebody who was eating nails and somebody who could eat a piece of concrete or something like that. Most of us are not designed to eat those things, right? Again, you want to eat what gives your body nourishment, what helps your body flow, and not what clogs your body up or causes allergies or things like that, okay? So let's be smart about what we consume. We can't just eat anything, all right? Now, the other thing is in understanding that our intestinal tract is not designed the same way as a lion or a tiger, all right? We have a super long intestinal tract. Our intestinal tract can be as long as 3 or 4 times our height. That's really long. You see that? 3 or 4 times. It wraps around, back and forth. It goes across. It goes down. So we have to decide on making sure that we put the right things in that it's designed to deal with. It's kind of like a car. If you buy a car and they say put premium gasoline in that car, in that vehicle, what happens when you don't put premium fuel in there? That's right, it doesn't run very well, and it may even stop running altogether. It's not going to run optimally, and you've invested a lot in that for it not to be running optimally. So we want our bodies to run optimally. We want our bodies to run really well. We don't want problems, issues, dis-ease, all of that. None of that. We don't want those kinds of things. That's not living the highest quality life we can in this experience on the planet, right? Okay. Now, the other thing is in understanding that in, say, a lion or a tiger, they eat meat, and that's all they eat. They have a very short digestive tract, and what goes in comes out really quickly, and they eat everything of the animal. Bone, hair, fur, all that type of thing besides just the flesh. And so they're getting nutrition from the whole animal. And for us, getting nutrition from the whole plant is what's best. So when you're buying things that are grown organically, you know, it's safe to eat the skin. And believe it or not, the skin of the plants, like apples and even things like watermelon, believe it or not, even watermelon. You can juice that, you can eat that, and it has a lot of nutrition, like carrots. You know, when you peel those carrots, you're taking off microbes that are very useful to our bodies, and a lot of nutrition is right under the skin. So if you buy them organic, all you have to do is wash them off, and then they're ready to eat, skin and all, and you get a lot more vitamins and such. That's like eating an apple, too. I forgot the number, but there's a certain amount of nutritional increase you get if you eat that whole apple. Skin, core, seeds, all of it. It's a lot more than if you just peel the whole thing, take out the core and the seeds, and just eat the flesh of the apple. Remember, it's a whole item, and eating the whole item means you get all synergistically everything that's included in that food. Now, the other thing is, what are we going to eat in terms of making a choice, right? So we have time of day to think about, whether it's late, whether it's early, whether we want to be energized. So in the morning time, when you wake up, it's very good to drink some water with lemon, at least a liter, a quart. And that way you keep the body cleansing. You kind of wash out the last things out of your stomach that you've eaten in the day before. And that's a good way to hydrate the body and also to keep cleansing going on. Because you know, when you're sleeping, you're going through cleansing phases. Your organs are going through different rejuvenation things. So certain hours of the night, different organs do their rejuvenation thing. So your brain does rejuvenation at a certain time of the night, your kidneys, your liver, your on and on. So when you don't rest a good solid amount of time, and everybody doesn't need 8 hours, some people might need 9, some people might do well with 6, depending on how well they're nourishing their body, stress levels, things like that. But you can certainly agree that if you ate a big steak dinner at 9 o'clock at night, you're probably not going to rest well. You're going to interfere with your elimination process and things like that. So I do have a lot of different fruits here that I want to talk a little bit with you about how to utilize those in your routine so that you're good and that you're looking good and you have all the vitality you want every day out of your activities, okay? So, what agrees with us is a good way to decide what to eat, okay? So, for example, you might say, well, what agrees with me? I know what to put in my mouth. Well, I'm going to tell you this. A lot of people continually eat things that don't agree with them. For example, so how many of us have family or friends who continue to eat ice cream, and they know as soon as they get a spoonful of that ice cream in and down, they've got gas, right? They got gas, they've got a stomach ache, but oh, it tastes good, oh, I really want some, oh, it's hot outside, da-da-da-da, when other choices could have been made. We don't want to keep aggravating the body by doing things like that. So let's make sure that we're eating what agrees with us. We don't want to eat, we know something causes us hives. You don't want to keep eating it. That's really aggravating the body, and that's not something you want to do. The other thing is to understand that food combining, and I'll do a whole show about this, food combining is very important because you can end up eating things that the body can't digest all together at one time. Now, I do not eat dairy cheese anymore. It's been many years since I've eaten dairy cheese, but I used to go to the restaurant and think, oh, I'm going to eat light today, and order that fruit plate with the cheese on it. Oh, my goodness. It didn't take many times for me to realize that I cannot eat that combination of food. My stomach would start hurting right away, and I'm like thinking, oh, I thought I was doing so good eating lightly. So I'm a vegan, but I understand everybody's not going to be vegan. Everybody's not going to go raw vegan, which I do most of the year. And but the point is to eat the best quality food so that you have the best quality life. Remember, life in, life out. That's why I always say that, remember, if you're green inside, you're clean inside. So one of the things you need to remember is that eating a high concentration of greens is very important to having a very active lifestyle and a very healthful lifestyle, okay? The other thing is eating watery fruits. So when I say watery fruits, I mean things like citrus, oranges, grapefruits, tangerines, things like melons, things like coconut water. And I'll talk more, other shows more about these foods, okay? Pineapple. I told you I brought in all these kinds of things to show you. Pineapple, great juice, but, make a meal out of a whole pineapple or half pineapple. You'll feel great. And the coconuts, for those of you who haven't got on the coconut train yet, oops, it's trying to get away from me. Coconut water is delicious. I've gone out to run and come back in. Oh my gosh, no power drink can replace this for replacing your electrolytes or helping you to just feel great after a run or something. For those of you who haven't tried papaya, you're like, wow, that thing looks really weird. I've never had it before. Try it. Either buy one from the store. You don't have to buy a big one. You can buy a small one. You really got to let it totally ripen up. You don't want any green on it when you eat it. And you can put it in a salad. You can just eat papaya by itself. But we really want to learn that life in, life out. You got to put really good stuff in if you want that vitality and health outwardly, okay? And I mentioned greens, kale, but there's tons of other greens. I mean, everything from zucchini to different types of lettuce, collard greens, turnip greens, on and on. Make sure to include a great variety of foods and a great variety of colors in your meals. Now, the other thing I want to tell you is that foods are not enough. Foods are not enough to keep us healthy. You want to eat the best food possible. but you've got to make sure to understand that food is not enough. And the reason is because plants can make 3 of the 4 nutrients we need every day. We need amino acids, people call them protein. We need EFAs, which are essential fatty acids, and we need vitamins. People always talk about take your vitamins every day, but guess what? The 4th category that we absolutely need is called minerals. And if we don't get our minerals, the vitamins have nothing to do. That's why you see people popping vitamins all the time, and they're still not healthy. So we've got to realize that since the soil no longer has the minerals in it that it needs for the plants to take up, to make available to us, we've got to supplement. Yeah, I know. You think, well, my great-grandparents didn't supplement, and that's not true. They did supplement. We have to understand that when they burnt those fires in those potbelly stoves or whatever to stay warm and took those ashes out every morning and threw them on the garden, guess what? They were supplementing their soil. When a tree burns away, when you burn away wood, what's left are the minerals that the tree has been taking up every year it's been alive. And some trees, they're huge, they're tall, they live for generations. So they've been taking up minerals from the soil for years and years and years, and they were taking those ashes and putting them in the garden, and that was supplementing the soil, making sure the food was very rich. And you can even tell now that foods don't taste the same, so something's missing. The collard greens don't have the same smell, they don't have the same taste, the fruits don't have a fragrance, they don't have the color, etc. Like those rubber balls they sell you in the store, they call them tomatoes. Well, so I want you to understand that we have got to supplement. We don't need as many calories as our great-grandparents did because we don't do as hard labor that they did. We don't walk long distances, we don't lift, we don't build, we're not doing all of that, but we do need supplements because things like air pollution, water pollution, we're dealing with a lot of constant irritations to the body, things that cause us to need even more nutrients to neutralize all of those things. And I live in LA right now. And I tell you, LA you're not supposed to see your air. And in LA, we can see our air, okay? So I have a piece that's going to talk some about supplements coming up right now, a video I did some time ago. And it's going to explain a good bit about why we need supplements and how they help us to live that good life that we want to live. So I will be right back after this video runs. Thank you.
Hey, oh, hey, yeah.
Hello, greetings everyone. Welcome to LA, Los Angeles. I'm in Hollywood and there's a whole lot of activity going on, so what you hear is what you get. But the best activity of all is longevity, 90 for life. So I'm back to tell you about all the wonderful products here, because what we're finding out is that we're on the top of all the lists that nobody ever wants to be on top of. Heart disease, strokes, diabetes, on and on and on. And we don't have to be there because with nutrition, your body will heal itself. Dr. Wallach, the mineral doctor, has come up with these marvelous formulas to make sure that with the right nutrition, we can live long lives that are youthful, full of vitality, full of anti-aging, and all of that. So what you got going on, or grandmother, grandfather, your son or daughter, whatever, we got something for that, okay? So now, last time I was with you, I talked about tangy tangerine and how I love this stuff. This stuff has almost all 90 of the essential nutrients in it. And what do you say, 90? Yeah, that's right. Some estimate that we have as many as 100 trillion cells, and all of them need nutrition. Remember, that's why you eat, right? For nourishment, so nutrients. Unfortunately, of the 90 nutrients we need, 60 of them are minerals. And I only say unfortunately because now we don't get them from the food. I've been a raw vegan soul food chef for years, and I used to always tell people, oh, between eating raw food and taking herbs, you'll be fine. But that's not so, because now I understand that we just can't get all the nutrients we need because they're not in the soil. If they're not available to the plant, the minerals, the plant can't provide them to you. The 60 minerals we need, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 to 3 EFAs, or essential fatty acids. The problem is the plants make the vitamins, amino acids, and the vitamins. They cannot make the minerals. The minerals have to be in the soils. But the soils are depleted. All this big ag farming, all this GMO with the plants, on and on. So we're missing a lot of nutrients. You've always heard about us needing vitamins, right? Wait a minute, didn't I just say 60 of those nutrients we needed are minerals? That's right. Sounds to me like somebody doesn't want us to know about everything we need, so that we're not being shaken down by the big pharmaceutical companies, by the doctors, having to go to the doctor all the time, getting medications that have side effects and only treat problems or issues. Whereas with taking all the nutrients you need for the body, you nourish the body and you help the body to do what it was designed to do, and that's to repair itself. All these machines out here, they're all made to imitate the body, but guess what? None of them do the self-repair. You cut yourself, scratch yourself, the body heals it. You don't have to go take a medicine for that, and that's what we were designed to do. So I'm going to talk today about some of the other fabulous products Dr. Joel Wallach has helped design out of many years of studying animal science, plant science, soil science, out of doing thousands and thousands of autopsies. He's looked at the fact that all the kinds of ailments in the body are caused by nutrient deficiencies, okay? So now, 90 for life, right? We say 90 for life because, again, remember, 60 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 amino acids, and 2 to 3 EFAs. So now these products have been formulated to help whatever situations or issues you may have going on. So now, in the Healthy Body Pack, which we call our core product package to get your 90 nutrients in every day, we have the Tangy Tangerine. I spoke about it before, and this one has all the minerals, vitamins, and amino acids in it. Well, the amino acids, pardon me, let me take that back. The amino acids are in capsules, and they are oil, so you don't want to try and mix that with this, which you mix with water. You can also get the products either in liquid or in powder. This is the calcium, the osteo, the one that we take for the calcium needs for the body, because you have to have a very large pool of calcium in the body at all times to support not only our frame, our bones, but support many, many other processes in the body. And it does not work by itself. You can't just run out and buy calcium for a couple of reasons. One, it may not be the right form, and it may not be very absorbable. And also, you want to make sure you still have the other 90 nutrients in the body, because it does not work by itself. None of the vitamins, minerals work by themselves. They all need other cofactors, which is why you can't do that micronutrient management. Well, I think I'll go get some iron today, or I'll go buy some vitamin C. You have to have them all every day, whether you're a little bitty baby or an elder. It just depends on your weight, how much you need, but everybody needs all 90 every day. How long do you need to make sure you're taking all 90 every day? As long as you're breathing, okay? You need oxygen every day, you need water every day, you need your 90 nutrients every day, or the body starts to break down, go into disrepair, get out of balance. And this is what we need to do while we eat, to take in these nutrients, to stay in balance, to stay strong, full of vitality. They also help with anti-aging. A lot of people do a lot of stuff on the outside of the body, but believe you me, you've got to do it from the inside. All right, so now I spoke about the Tangy Tangerine. I mentioned the EFAs, which are in capsule form, they're oil, and this is the calcium. So now this is the core package for the Healthy Body Pack. All 90 of your nutrient needs every day are covered right here. Now, depending on what other kinds of situations or unbalances you have in the body, you will add different supplements to these. You say supplements. Oh, thought you could get everything from food, or our great-great-grandparents didn't supplement. Yes, they did. When they burnt that wood in the stoves, and in the morning they took those ashes and threw them in the garden, that was supplementing the soil. After that wood is burned, what's left are ashes, and those are actually the minerals that the trees have been taking up for years and years and years. People even used to mix a little bit of ash in their food, and that was supplementing. That was taking in more minerals also, okay? So now, I talked a little bit about osteo, great product. You need a great big pool of calcium in the body because the body depends on a lot of calcium for a lot of its processes. Some of those 60 minerals you need in the body, you need just a trace amount. So selenium is a product that you need a lot of in the body. You need a lot of selenium in the body to support the soft tissue in the body. The things happen in the body that let you know that you have deficiencies or a need. For example, white hair, when the hair starts going gray, means you have a copper deficiency. And so I say that my grays will be gone by the end of this year because I'm making sure that I get what I need. Another product we have is Rebound. You can't sweat it out, whether you're an athlete or just a walker on the weekends, whatever, you gotta put it back in. Pollen Burst. This product is phenomenal, great for energy. It's got vitamin C and a lot of other wonderful things in it. The liquid minerals, love it. I had a woman the other day, she took a little shot and she said, oh my gosh, in 15 minutes she felt like she could go another round. This is Saxy. This has high ORAC values. It is great antioxidant. You talk about anti-aging, this is great for that. We have Body Trim. This is a great weight management product. Comes in small little to-go packs. All day you can just take 1 or 2 of these with you and you're set. And who does not like chocolate, right? You would not believe this triple treat. Not only is it great because it's full of great cocoa, it is also full of minerals and also other great things. So again, this is a treat, but a good for you treat. No processed sugars and things like that. So it tastes delicious and it's great for you. I look forward to seeing you again. We'll talk about some other products and we'll talk more about ways to support our body because it will repair itself. That's what it was designed to do, and we've got to start treating it like the temple it is. Love you all. See you later. All right, well, we're back. I hope you enjoyed and got some good information out of that video. I do want to let you know I'm sitting here drinking my tangy tangerine. Every day I make sure I've got this. Okay, so to wrap up for today, I want to make sure that I let you know, first of all, I've got a great recipe for you at rawvegansoulfood.com. rawvegansoulfood.com. You'll see a button there to click on for a great recipe, and it uses something many of you have probably never tried before, tomatillos. It's a green recipe. It's super delicious. It's really good. It's really simple, and I hope you will try it. It's great as a dip. I like it so much I can eat it as a soup, but it's great as a dip. You can use it as a spread. Just depends on how thick or thin you make it. It's really tasty though. And I also want to let you know a couple other tips. Throw that table salt away. That's what I want to tell you. Get you some quality salt. You need the salt. It helps you digest your food. You've got to make sure not to eat too much, but this is my favorite salt. Himalayan pink salt. It's from way up in the mountains. It's from deposits millions of years ago. That's where they mined it. And so therefore you're eating something that's giving you minerals, but you're not eating something that's out of balance. You know, table salt is mostly sodium. And so people wonder why the blood pressure's up crazy. Well, you're eating just sodium mostly. The other thing is red lentils. So I want you to know I love sprouting these. And so what I do is I soak them, I drain them, and then I put them in a strainer, and I'm able to get them to grow little sprouts. And the food value, the nutrition that is in sprouts is like tons of times higher than the lentils without being sprouted. So I sprout them and then we eat them raw. We eat them live. And so all that live energy in gives us live energy and vitality out. The other thing, fat. Everybody likes to taste the fat. I mean, that's why people like fried foods, which are horrible for you. But that's why avocados are so great. I mean, I don't even have to mash this baby up. I can take it with a little Himalayan salt and I'm set, okay? So remember, those are few more tips to make sure that you understand. You have a lot of variety, but the big thing is you've got to put more raw live foods in so that you get the food energy and the energy to go on and do everything you want to do. Remember, this is 2006, baby, and we just going to do it all. But you got to eat well, you got to eat right, and we're going to cover a lot more. I mean, I could take each one of these things and just do a whole show on them, and we will do a lot more of that. So remember, rawvegansoulfood.com. There's a recipe waiting there for you, a video, actually a demo. It's a demo, not just a recipe, it's a demo, a food demo. And so again, thank you so much for joining me today. We want to thank our sponsors, whom we appreciate so much. All-in-One Press Kit, boom. And go on and click and take a look at that, because whether you have a business, whether you have whatever you want people to know about, that's the beauty right there. That's a beautiful thing. As a matter of fact, is mine up? If you go there, you will get to see a great example of my press kit, and I love it. Do you know people can actually send me a message to my phone from my press kit? Like if you're on the computer, you don't even have to go to your phone. You can actually send me a message from my press kit to my phone, okay? So anyway, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your attention. I appreciate your support. Share this. I hope it had a lot of good information for you. Eat well, be well. Love you, and see you next time. Peace.